What's going on, people? It's your boy Tops back again, and we're here, man. Top in the morning show as always at 9 a.m. Big up everyone tuning in the building. Big up my bro Darren Moore. Big up yourself, my bro. Hope you're well. He goes on to say, bro, Liverpool is doing a madness this season. If they get ISAK, it's over, bro. It is finished if they get ISAK, bro. I think it's finished already now, to be honest with you, based off the signings they've already made. But brother, if they get ISAK over the line, man, it's a wrap. Pull it in the bag, bro. All of that stuff. So yeah. Let's get into the breaking news that obviously happened yesterday. David Ornstein was the one that obviously broke it, as well as other journalists as well. But yeah, they've done obviously an article on it. It says Liverpool prepared to smash British transfer record. Massive again, you know. Remember, they've already got Wirtz over the line with 125 mil, whatever it is. With the Reds willing to spend or take their summer spending spree over £300 million to sign ISAK from Newcastle, man. This could be an absolutely tremendous signing if they can get it over the line. It says Liverpool are prepared to smash their transfer record for the second time this summer as ISAK's Newcastle future was cast in doubt on Tuesday. Remember, this was a Newcastle who had the firm stance of that we're not selling this guy. This guy's going to be staying here. He's not for sale. No price. But like I said, the $1 million man said, everybody's got a price. And there's his trademark laugh, bro. It's true. Everyone's got a price, man. You just have to bid high enough for them to consider it. But yeah, if they go on to say the Premier League champions have already made a statement signing of the summer by signing Florian Wirtz for 116 million. They supplemented that by landing another Bayer Leverkusen player, Frimpong, as well as Bournemouth left back Gyokeres as well. So they've already spent a lot of money this season already in the summer. But the addition of ISAK will surpass everything. It will take a new British record fee to secure the Swedish international in advance of 125 million. But Liverpool's intentions are clear. They will move if they receive encouragement. That is mad, bro. So they're going hell for leather, man. They want this guy over the line for sure. Big up Finn, man. He says, if we get ISAK, we will go into administration. Listen, you must be getting the money from somewhere. I do feel like you're probably going to make some smart sales. Maybe Harvey Elliott's another one. All these kind of guys that you've got on the books, some squad players, maybe even Curtis Jones. These kind of guys that are part of the academy. Curtis Jones, for example, you could probably maybe get a big fee. And we already know about Konate as well. Potentially, you could sell him if he's not going to sign a new deal. So I do think you're going to get money in. But yeah, this would be a massive outlay, to be fair. It would be a massive outlay, bro. I can't even lie. I can't even lie, my guy. But he goes on to say, yeah, Newcastle remain adamant that ISAK is not for sale and want to enhance his 120 per week. That is low, bro. Oh my days. There, Arsenal need to fix up, you know, because we got Reece Nelson on 100 grand and Isak's on 120. That is a disgrace. Zinchenko's on 150, bro, and Isak's on 120. That is a mad thing. That is actually Callum Fury's on 130, and this guy's on 120. Yeah. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. We need to definitely revamp our whole contract structure, man, because we're overpaying 100% for a majority of our players, man. So I can understand why he potentially wants to obviously a wage increase based off that. A task that should have been done on watch of the former director Paul Mitchell, but talks stalled earlier this year, and there has been no progress. ISAK is currently with Newcastle squad in Austria for a training camp that they want to enhance their forward line by adding Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt, but so far the bid has been falling way short of the Germans' expectations. They want 100 million euros, which is 86 million pounds, for the French under-21 international, man. So that is a lot of money for someone that's kind of not even really been proven on a consistent basis. This has kind of been his breakthrough season. I think they already got him this season as well. So, yeah, they want the maximum money, man. 86, considering he got less goals. I think he got less goals than Mamouche, I think, at the time. And he went for 60. So, yeah, they're obviously seeing a chance to really try and get the maximum money for this guy, especially because there's been obviously a drought of top-level strikers out there in the market that obviously teams want to go for. So, yeah, £86 million is definitely a lot of money. It says, understand that Newcastle have already bidded £70 million for the player in Nketiah, a player whom Liverpool are also interested in. Bro, Liverpool could do the maddest thing. Like I say, they could do the snooker thing where they're looking at it thinking, right, if we can try and get either ISAK or Nketiah, we're going to say pick your poison. If you don't want to go for Nketiah, we'll go and nab him. And that's obviously your target. And for me, ISAK is always going to leave Newcastle. It's just a matter of what time, innit? And I feel like Newcastle are trying to get that insurance plan in now for Nketiah. And then when ISAK does leave, either this season, next summer, or the summer after that, that they've already got their kind of ready-made kind of blueprint striker similar to him that they've already got in the door. So I think it's very important for them to get Nketiah, probably for that reason. However, Liverpool are saying, you know what, if you don't go for Nketiah, we'll get him. But if you do go for him, then we're just going to try and get Isak right now. And now you're going to be left with just Nketiah to try and navigate towards the Premier League already, obviously in his first season. And again, they're in the Champions League as well. So it's going to be very, very difficult for them for sure. But yeah, man, big up the chat as always, man. It says if they don't get Isak, they're going to get going after Nketiah. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. This is the issue. Like, again, they're kind of snookered Newcastle a little bit. I mean, the counter of it could be Newcastle could just say, look, if you want to take Nketiah, then you go and take him. We're just going to sign up Isak for a new deal kind of thing. Or even try and flirt with Liverpool, saying, you know what, you can try and get Isak, while behind the scenes they kind of wrap up Nketiah, and then they're like, no, we're keeping Isak as well. So then Liverpool end up with neither. So I think there's a game of chess here. I think it's going to be very crucial and very, very interesting to see who actually blinks first, and who actually is going to go and buy or get that star striker and put that massive bin in that's going to be accepted by either Newcastle or Frankfurt in it. But we'll see. We'll see. Big up Darren. He says, we're already a joke this season. Can't even get frigging Gyokeres over the Ross line. Over the line to Ross. That's made me laugh. Big up yourself up, man. It's been 4 days now. Media saying he's coming. Whether is he? Yeah, it's been crazy, man. I don't know what's actually happening. Obviously, there's been rumors that against what Sporting do this, man. Bro, we should never buy another player from Sporting again. It's just hassle, man. Headache. Do you know what I'm saying? It's funny, like I said before, the players that we're not actually excited about, your Nwaneri, your Gyokeres, all these guys, they get done rapidly, no guard, whatever, no problems. The ones that we actually want, there's always a drag, there's always kind of a stipulation involved. They always make it messy for us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know what the hold up is. Apparently they wanted to make the add-ons a bit more achievable. And also trying to stick to their word. But yeah, I think they're just trying to go back on their word, if I'm being honest, man. But hopefully that gets announced and done by this Friday, Saturday before we go obviously on tour. That's the main thing, bro. But we'll see. Big up Finn, man. It says on TalkSport, it says Nketiah is Newcastle's target as well as Isak as a backup. So if Liverpool don't I think they'll get Isak, they'll go for Nketiah, which won't make Newcastle happy. Sorry. Yeah, big up yourself, Finn, bro. Yeah, it's like I was saying, bro. I think they're trying to snooker them, man. I think they're kind of trying to say, you know what, we'll either get your striker or your first team target. So you pick which one you want to like focus on the most, and then we'll just get the other one. And obviously, it's putting Newcastle in a predicament where they're like, you know what, well, we kind of, I think generally they did want both. I think they did want Nketiah as well as Isak for this season in particular. So, because again, that's one of those things where Nketiah can learn off Isak to play in the Premier League, for eventually Isak to probably move on where it's, because obviously Isak's on 3 years left on his deal, unless he's going to commit, and I don't think he probably will, because again, he's probably thinking, well, I could get a move to Barcelona, Liverpool, whoever, and this is going to be my last kind of chance to get a massive contract as well, a bigger team, even bigger than Newcastle. So I think they're probably in the back of their mind and thinking, you know what, he's probably not going to stay. Do you know what I mean? So they're trying to get that replacement backup in ready now, spending that kind of money now, anticipating they're going to get a lot of money for Isak whenever he goes this season or next season, preferably next season for them. But yeah, I think Liverpool kind of called their bluff, man. So we'll see if they actually obviously go to it and they end up getting Nketiah as well, because I think Newcastle will be annoyed about that, even though it would mean they'd be keeping Isak for at least another season, man. But yeah, obviously the bid is 70 mil and they rejected it. But yeah, it cost upwards of 125 mil. Isak says Liverpool have been determined to add a striker at their ranks since securing their 20th league title. While Isak represents the ideal choice, it is very much the club's club's motto that they obviously target other targets as well if required. It says aside from Isak and Nketiah, Liverpool have also discussed Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins and Visser from Brentford as well. Interesting, man. Interesting. It's crazy because you see Ollie Watkins, man. He's kind of like the striker. He's like the real backup striker option for everyone at the minute. You see, he's been linked with Arsenal. He's been linked with Man United. No one seems to be taking the jump. Even with this, he's kind of like the third kind of choice for Liverpool as well. So, yeah, man, I think they're probably all worried about his age or whatnot. And obviously, if he's going to be at the level. I mean, again, I think he's been very consistent at Aston Villa. But I think probably these clubs are looking for that guy that can maybe take a step forward and be in that kind of Haaland bracket. Do you know what I mean? To the goals wise, can Ollie Watkins do that at this stage of his career? I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think that's kind of obviously the case as well. Victor Gyokeres. Victor Osimhen has also been mentioned during the talks with Napoli over Darwin Núñez. Another intriguing detail is the fact that Manchester United's Marcus Rashford's name was floating during the conversation. But wow, for Liverpool, no way, man. But nothing progressed. Beyond that, there's little potential for that to be resurrected, given the question marks about his form in recent sessions. Yeah, man, that'll be crazy. That can't be then number 9 striker, man. No way. There's an exceptionally busy period for Liverpool, who on Tuesday immediately rebuffed an offer for Luis Diaz from Bayern Munich. Says the German champions made a 58.5 million pound proposal for the Colombian international, but they're a mile short of Anfield's club 86 million valuation, man. So yeah, they want some big money for him as well. Crazy, man. Good morning, big up yourself, 7 on DR. What are you telling me, bro? Good morning, tops the chat. 5 for them. Come on, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Big up into the box, man. Morning, mate. Morning, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you're having a good morning so far. Obviously, just going through the news. Big up ST, man. My bro, man. Big up yourself. Morning, tops on the chat. So glad you do these daily lives, mate. I always tune in, even if I don't always chat. Big up yourself, ST, man. I always appreciate your support. And like I said, I love doing these daily lives as well, man. Every single day. Love talking to you guys. Love bringing you news. Love the banter in the chat as well. And I'll continue to do so, man. So, yeah, big up yourself every single time, ST. Glad you're in the building as well, man. But, yeah, obviously, just going back on the article, it goes on to say Diaz, who's 2 years younger than the Portuguese, was subject to interest from El Nasi. Obviously in Saudi, but again, it's one of those ones where I don't think they're willing to pay the money, and I don't know if he wants to go there. This is in the situation that mirrors Isak's position at Newcastle. The sources in Colombia have told Mail Sport that while Diaz has a huge affection for Liverpool, he doesn't believe his current salary represents his value to the club. Now, I know he's on about 70 grand a week, which is absolutely criminal considering how a pivotal part he played in last season's title-winning side for Liverpool. Then you look at the other side at Mo Salah. He's probably going to be on 350, nearly 400 grand a week, man. So, yeah, the contrast is too big for sure. But I feel like Liverpool don't want to offer him a new contract for the simple fact that they're going to have to pay a guy who's going to be coming into, obviously, his prime years of his career, pay him, obviously, maybe probably 200, 250 that he's probably going to be wanting now to really kind of make up for the lack of obviously, massive salary that he's had since he's been at the club. Also, as well, the length of contract as well. Is he going to want a 5-year deal? That takes him into 33, 34. Like, yeah, I don't know if they're willing to commit that for him, because obviously that then stops them from probably getting another top winger in a couple of years' time. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see with that. It says Barcelona have also been persistently linked with Diaz, but they have not made any kind of contact. Liverpool clearly will offer some of the squad in the coming weeks. Napoli are the only club to make an contact offer. Darwin Núñez, but their offer of 55 million, including add-ons, was miles short. Núñez, who scored in the 3-1 win at Preston last Sunday, was a Liverpool's club record signing in 2022 at 84 million pounds. You forget that, man. And the intention is to recoup at least 70 million pounds. Also, the pair of Tyler Morton and Harvey Elliott have admirers as well. Those are 2 players that they could sell to try and obviously fund the Isak deal, man. So, yeah, what do you guys think, man? Do you think Liverpool got a massive chance of signing Isak? I definitely think there's not smoke without fire here, and I think there's potentially a deal to get done. I think it might take a lot for Newcastle to try and restrain from maybe engaging in talks with Liverpool. I think it just depends on how they approach the situation with Nketiah. If they think he's definitely worth the 86 million pounds, then if they end up getting a deal for that, I can see obviously this deal going over the line for the simple fact that I feel like they're going to be willing to make sure they sell Isak already to try and get that money kind of in, man. But again, I think it all depends on Isak as well. If he's willing to push through a move, if he's saying to them, you know what, I really want to leave, let me go for this amount of money. Because again, you're still going to be making double the amount of profit. They're already bought him for 63 or 60 million pounds, 63 million pounds from Real Sociedad. So you're doubling your money if you get 120, 130. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that would probably be a fair reflection of obviously his value as well, considering you could argue he's the best pound for pound striker in the Premier League. So yeah, it's one of those ones where we have to obviously wait and see what happens with that, man. But yeah, big up ST says, imagine Rashford at Liverpool, bro. That would be scenes, absolute scenes, bro. If that happened, man, absolute scenes, man. Their fans would, bro. Imagine him doing that at OT in the Liverpool shirt. Oh my god, it'll be mayhem, absolute carnage, man. Big up Godfrey, my brother. Big up Tops. You good, bro? I'm all good, my guy. Hopefully you're well as well, my friend. And yeah, man, you have to let me know what you think about the Isak news. Obviously, potentially going to Liverpool. Yeah, one of the things that obviously was interesting about this whole situation is the fact that again, they've kind of dropped the news now just before pre-season. Is that to try and unsettle the player? Obviously, this is the kind of period of times where everyone tries to go back to try and get prepared for their club. Is it a thing where they don't really want him to be fully committed to Newcastle going into that kind of pre-season period? So then there's kind of an opportunity for him to make the switch. I'm not too sure, man. But yeah, very, very interesting, man. Very, very interesting. But we'll see, man. We'll see what actually happens with that, man. Because I feel like again, it's definitely one to keep an eye on for sure. Big up Godfrey says Liverpool are moving serious. Can't see why we can't even bid for Rodrigo on top of landing Eze and Glock 9. Yeah, you know what, bro? The only reason I can see is that we need to sell some players, bro. And not even in terms of like a PSR kind of thing, but just in terms of like getting some income in, because I think with the problem with, well, the difference between us and them, they can sell a Kelleher for 18 mil, and that goes obviously towards their budget. And they can sell random youngsters I've never heard of for 15, 20 mil. Chelsea do something similar as well. Whereas we can't even sell our first team players for that. We can't sell Zinchenko. We're hearing touting of 10 mil for Zinchenko, bro. It's like, bro, he's definitely a 25, 30 million pound player, but because of the wages he's on, the 150 wages, no one's going to pay that as well as the fee. So you're going to have to make a compromise, man. So I feel like we've definitely snooked ourselves in a way of giving these guys top wages. Even Reece Nelson on 100 grand a week is scandalous, man. Why is he on that much money? He's never been a first team star. He's never even been a reliable rotational player. Like, he comes in maybe 4 or 5 games a season, maybe, if that. He never starts. He might come off the bench, and then that is it. That's how we sporadically use him. The other periods of time, he's on the bench. So I just feel like, again, we've kind of overpaid for these squad players in terms of wages-wise, and now we're struggling to sell them on. But I agree, bro. I feel like if we were serious, we definitely would try and get Eze and Rodrigo. Now, there's no obviously guarantee Rodrigo would even come to us again. He's going to have a lot of suitors. He might pick someone else. That's perfectly fine. But with the Eze thing, he definitely wants to come to us. We've seen that in the media, that he wants to obviously come to Arsenal in particular. Obviously, he played for us in the academy, so it makes sense. And yeah, that deal definitely should be one we can get over the line, man. But yeah, I do feel like it is majorly obvious that we need to get some sales over the line, man. There's the days of us letting people go on a free and stuff like that. I think Tammy Yasu has to be the last one, because even though fans say it's great, we've got them off the books, you need to start getting some transfer fees for these guys, bro. Because again, we can't be a club that doesn't sell any players and just expect to keep buying. This is what happened with Man United. That's what's happened with Man United. They don't really sell anyone decent, especially the last 2, 3, 4 years of any like value. And then now they're going to a point where, because they're not getting Champions League now, it's very, very difficult for them to try and stump up the money for Mbeumo, for example, because they're not getting any kind of regular income is in. So I think it's very crucial, man. I think it's very crucial that we actually improve that for sure. But yeah, man, big up everyone tuning in. Big up ST says exactly. I wonder why we give such high wages. Yeah, and listen, I don't know, man. I feel like it was the negotiation tactic maybe of Edu. And I just think, again, man, when you look at obviously how Edu was obviously operating things, man, bro, he was not great, man. When you think about it, the fact that he'd leave it to the last minute to get any kind of potential key signings. Remember, we needed a backup goalkeeper, probably obviously all summer, because we knew Ramsdale was going to leave. And the fact we got a cup-tied keeper was terrible. Obviously, Sterling was terrible as well. And all the kind of signings and contract renewals that we put big money on. People even like Calafiori and Marino, that's obviously down to him as well. So yeah, not ideal for sure, man. Not ideal for sure. I said we need to seriously move on players now to free up funds. You're right. We can't be playing catch up every time Liverpool and City. This is it, man. Even Man City, even when you look at Man City selling, obviously you're looking at McAtee and even Nico Riley I've just seen as well. These are kind of players they're looking to sell on just because they probably still want to spend some more money. And these are pure profit players because they're from the academy. So yeah, and they're going to get 40, 50 mil from these kind of players. And you're looking at our players, our academy players, or even our first team players, we can't even get anywhere near that. So yeah, I think if you want to keep up with the spending power, and again, you have to spend to improve every single season. Not to say you got to blow the bag every single summer, of course, but you've got to get key players in key areas to try and freshen it up every year. I don't think you can maintain the same kind of team and still be ahead, especially with how many teams are spending money these days. So, but to do that, you do need to sell some of your squad players or some players that are surplus to requirement. Like Martinelli would be a massive example of someone that, again, maybe back in the day, people would say we're not selling him at all. But at this current moment, to kind of benefit the progression of the actual team, he needs to get moved on for a massive fee, so then we can put that back into the team and get someone else. You know what I'm saying? So until you start doing that, then I feel like you're always going to be at standstill. You're always not going to do enough. You do a little bit, but then it's always going to come back to finances. We haven't got enough money to get X, Y, and Z player. This is why I'm, bro, if they better not draw that card for the Eze thing for sure, especially when you just spent that much money on Madueke, man. I'm not going to be hearing, yeah, we run out of money, man, because that's criminal, honestly, man. Big up Darren. It says because we would never sign players if we don't. Big up Darren. Nobody wants to play for Arteta, he says. But even we did this even before Arteta came in. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. I don't think it's an Arteta issue. Big up God for life 18 morning tops. Hope you're well, man. Hope you're good as well, my bro. Hope you're well, man. Make sure you guys smash on the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Obviously, Darren says it got worse under Arteta, bro. I'm not being a hater, bro. You can actually look it up. Says Darren. Yeah, you know what? Listen, I think again, it's a combination of obviously how the club have been acting in terms of not being able to sell players, but also as well the fact that potentially Arteta wants particular players, and them particular players come at a price, come at a fee, come out of I think where they only want to come, or they're more likely to come if you give them X amount of wages, man. Obviously an example is Kai Havertz. Again, he was obviously negotiating with Chelsea. They didn't want to give him a pay up, guys. We were willing to do it. And that's why we got him in the end, didn't it? As well as obviously him not coming to terms with obviously Chelsea as well. So that's just one example. But Arteta definitely wanted that guy. So yeah, man, I definitely think he's got a part to play in it for sure. I can't even lie, bro. But yeah, let's go on to some positive news now, because it is positive news for sure. Let's have a look. Where is it? Here we go, man. It says Fabrizio Romano shares significant Ethan Nwaneri update out of Arsenal, man. So some positive news for Arsenal fans. It says Arsenal have taken a huge step towards prolonging Ethan Nwaneri's contract at the Emirates, according to reports. It says with the Gunners now seeing significant progress in the process of extending his deal to end speculation over his future in North London. It says that Nwaneri became the youngest ever Premier League footballer in September 2022 at the age of just 15 years and 181 days, beating Liverpool star Harvey Elliott's record and being the youngest ever outfield player to feature in the top flight of English football. With such a promising talent on their hands, the Gunners won't want to lose him. And now reports have stated that they have the confidence that he will remain at the Emirates, man. Even Nwaneri deal could be sealed by next week. He says the Arsenal Scarlet is now likely to remain on their books, which is obviously great news. The report by Fabrizio Romano on Twitter, for obviously now called X, states that Ethan Nwaneri's new deal at the Emirates Stadium could be sealed in principle as early as this week, with the youngster previously being subject to interest from Chelsea amid concerns over a fresh new contract, man. So these are obviously his stats in terms of his output. There's 26 appearances, which is 11th in the squad. Again, there's only 11 teams that play. Sorry, there's only 11 players that play, obviously, in the starting lineup. So the fact he's 11th means that's a first teamer. That's what a first teamer is, bro. That appearances in terms of 26. He's a first teamer for sure. He says goals was 4. This is obviously in the Premier League. That's 6. So he's our 6th top scorer in the Premier League, joint 6th top scorer. Key passes per game, 0.6. That's obviously he's in the top 7. Shots per game, 0.9. He's 11th. So again, in the first team kind of thing. Dribbles per game, 1.4. He's 2nd. This is what I'm saying. His skill set in terms of being able to dribble past players, and that close control, all of that good stuff is very, very crucial. This is why I do feel like we're trying to get Eze as well, because we need someone else, man. We can't just be relying on an 18-year-old to try and be that kind of progressive dribbler in our team, man. And yeah, the fact that he's 2nd is crazy, to be fair, considering he was 17 throughout the entire season. So yeah, I'm assuming the guy that's first has got to be Saka, I assume, but who even knows, man. Match rating 6.64. It was 15th. So yeah, man, they're obviously his statistics, man. Big up everyone that's tuned in the building, man. Make sure you guys smash on the like button. It goes, you may be right, Darren. It says if Liverpool get ISAK, they will win the league again. 100%. I think they're probably going to win the league anyway. But yeah, I think if they get ISAK, man, that's definitely it's confirmed, bro. It's definitely going to be confirmed. It says which position is Nwaneri going to play. So apparently, according to reports, David Ornstein did report it as well, that the original plan is for ISAK. Sorry, is for Nwaneri to play in that kind of number 10 role behind Odegaard study, which then questions me, if we do get Eze, is he going to be put out to the left? Is he going to be our starting left winger, as well as Madueke covering over there? I'm not too sure, bro, if I'm being honest, man, because I still feel like Eze should be central, man, for sure, if we're going to sign him, man, because again, he's basically someone that can play in that central role right now, and you know you're going to get a certain level of quality for him, and that means Odegaard could either maybe drop into the left 8 himself or be on the bench, man. So yeah, very, very interesting in terms of game time and how he obviously distributes it. But for me, I wouldn't even shoehorn him into that number 8 or 10 spot. I definitely still think he can do a job on the right-hand side, because listen, guys, we're going to get injuries this season, man. There's not going to be a world where we're going to have Saka fit for the entire season. He's probably going to get injured. So then you're looking at our right winger options. Would you rather have Madueke there or Ethan Nwaneri, man? For me, I'd rather have Ethan there, personally. I think he's quality, man. So yeah, that's just my opinion, man. But yeah, I think his versatility definitely should be used in the squad to get him some more game times. I think if you kind of shoehorn him into that left 10 or 8, you know, Odegaard's going to play probably the majority of the games. And then you're looking at Eze. Is he going to be playing the other half of the games that Odegaard doesn't play, or if he's going to be on the left wing? So you're looking at his positions and actually his game time. It's going to be very difficult for him to get a sustained amount of game time for sure. If that's the case, man. He says, I don't see him getting decent minutes under that manager for sure. I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how he uses him. Man. Big up Tom Ford. He says, even if we don't get ISAK, we could take Nketiah into a monster. Big up Tom Ford. Obviously, I'm thinking he's a Liverpool fan. And yeah, listen, Nketiah has definitely got some huge potential. He's got similar traits to ISAK as well. So you're looking at that kind of thing, thinking, wow, if he's got similar traits to ISAK at a younger age, maybe you can try to, like you said, mold him into the next ISAK, which is very, very true. So either way, man, it's looking scary. And also, you've still got that backup plan of Mo Salah. You know he's going to get 20 league goals, whether it's 20, 29, 25. You know he's going to get in that 20 range. So when you've got that kind of security there, then yeah, you can kind of experiment with your forward line because again, it makes it a little bit easier, man. I said true. It says Ethan is being shut up by Arteta. Look what he done to him at the end of last season. Exactly, and we know Arteta is pretty stubborn. Petty and carries huge grudges. Yeah, I mean, I think even obviously last season, I think he was getting a little bit tired towards last season. I know some of his performances were obviously not as good towards the end of the season. I do remember. However, I do feel like he still should have been used a bit more, especially coming on even off the bench in games where we were struggling. Now, he wasn't really bringing him on or anything. Especially in that PSG kind of first and second leg. I think the first leg he brought him on for like 4 or 5 minutes, which is not a lot. And then in the second leg, I can't remember even brought him on. I don't think he even did, man. So yeah, man, I definitely think he should have been using him more for sure. But we'll see how it goes, man. Obviously, he's got reassurance that he's going to be used significantly more. Otherwise, he wouldn't have signed a new deal. Only had 1 year left. Had obviously offers from Borussia Dortmund. Chelsea were interested as well. So yeah, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see. So, I also believe that significant progress was made over the weekend with indications over him staying in North London being positive at this stage. And that is a huge boost for the Gunners, who are aiming to keep their academy star and utilize him more. And next season, after making 37 appearances in all comps in the campaign just gone, particularly starring in the League Cup. You see, 37 appearances is quite a lot for a 17-year-old. The problem you've got is that you're fast-tracking him into a position where he's the backup option, which means, again, you got to use him as a backup option. This is the issue I always had. For me, personally, I would always have him as that kind of star kind of quality in there, putting him in there. But if you've got the required backup already at the high standard, then you could obviously use him a bit more sporadically. So there's not much of a reliance on him. But at the moment, he's one of our best players. Like, let's be honest. And he's like 17, 18. He's definitely one of our best attacking players. So it's a thing where you kind of need to use him a bit more, bro, because we're coming up short in certain elements in certain games where we're drawing 0-0 or we're dropping points. This is a guy that can definitely make the difference. Maybe not all the time, because again, he's still young. He's still going to have inconsistency, because he's 17, 18, I'm sure. And having that pressure on him is obviously definitely not right from an Arsenal point of view, because again, we should be having other star players apart from Saka to really feel the burden. And then Nwaneri is kind of like the icing on the cake. Do you know what I mean? The cherry on top, where he's got quality, but you're not relying on him like that. But I feel like, again, the way we've been using him, maybe we are relying on him too much, if I'm being honest, man, even though he's a quality player. So I think there's definitely a balance there of him getting the right minutes, but not being the guy that we just go to all the time, because again, he needs to develop and have more games where the pressure's not even on him, bro. Like, when you just kind of play him and you're like, you know what, you can do your thing. But even if you don't do your thing this game, we've got all the star players to step up. We've got a star striker now that can fill in, score the goals, and you can just have it maybe a quieter game, but you're still getting that experience of playing week in, week out kind of minutes. So yeah, but we'll see how we use him, and we'll definitely see how we use him. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys smash up the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Big up Tom Ford. It says, plus the reports are we're going to go all in for Rodrigo if Diaz leads, which he wants to. Yes, I did see that. Apparently you are ahead of Chelsea and Arsenal in terms of English clubs of Rodrigo's signature. Bro, if you get Rodrigo, ISAK, and I've got Salah and Wirtz, bro, that would be an amazing summer, man. Honestly, I think you could win the lot with that. I'll be real, because the quality in that front line is scary, man. And yeah, it doesn't like Diaz does want to leave. I think will Bayern Munich pay the money that you want for him? That is the key area. I don't know if they will, but we have to wait and see for that for sure. Big up Gunner for life. 82 says, big up Darren. Facts, mates. 100%. It says AFTV. Robbie moaned and said Ethan to demand more game time, which wasn't true. Yet he still outperformed starters in the minutes he got. He just got to work on his fitness now. Yeah, listen, I feel like, again, Ethan definitely is a star player. And this is why I said, literally said before, like 2 minutes ago, like I feel like we definitely need to manage his minutes, because even though on the ball he's amazing, I think physically he definitely needs to still get used to playing in the Premier League week in, week out, because I think he's still developing as a mature, obviously, young man as well. So yeah, I think he's a little bit different to Lewis Skelly. I think Lewis Skelly, in terms of physicality, is a bit more polished, a bit more obviously advanced compared to him. But again, that's going to come with, again, experience and maybe kind of easing him into certain games, man, not really having him play 3-4 games in a row. Like, you don't need to do that, especially with apparently all the attacking quality we're supposed to be getting in the summer. So yeah, I think there's definitely a balance in that for sure. But I think he's a star player. And again, I think you just need to manage his minutes accordingly, man. Because again, I wouldn't want him to go down the Jack Wilshere road, for example, where you overplay him and now he's getting all these kind of niggling injuries because his body wasn't used to playing 40 games a season, man. Do you know what I mean? So you don't want that. So yeah, you definitely have to manage him properly for sure. Big up Finn, he says, remember the name, Ethan Nwaneri, quality player, bro. Big up yourself, Finn. Very, very good player. It says, turned on Sky Sports and they said Daily Mail reporting Liverpool are looking at Rashford. Yeah, I literally just read that out, bro. Literally just read that report out saying that you're looking at Ollie Watkins, Rashford, Visser from obviously Brentford. These are kind of the backup options if you don't get ISAK or Nketiah. So yeah, I can't see that happening with the Rashford one. I can't lie, bro. That is kind of crazy to throw him in the name. But yeah, I feel like if you don't get, I think you're going to get either ISAK or Nketiah. I can't see how you wouldn't. If you're willing to spend 120 on ISAK, then you've got the money for Nketiah. He's only 86 mil. So yeah, it's going to be one of those ones, bro. And either one, man, I think you're laughing, to be honest with you, because I think both of them are going to be better than Nunes. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to be upgrade. Big up 7 on DR, says it would have been criminal to keep Nwaneri on the same contract going into this season. Marcelo Skelly wage got increased. He should do indeed. I don't think it will be more than the Marcelo Skelly. Will be shocked me if it is. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think together it should be like, again, they both should have got an increase, because I think both of them were very crucial and pivotal to our season, man. Because again, Ethan Nwaneri came in and filled in for Saka. I think he should have came in and filled in for Odegaard more. I don't think the manager trusted him at the time. I think that was a mistake. I think he definitely should have came in more and played a few more minutes during that period where we were messing about with Trossard in the 10, and then we tried to put Havertz in the 10. It just didn't work. So yeah, I think it definitely could have been used a bit more in that period of the season. But yeah, he definitely was an improved part of the squad. And like I said, when you look at his numbers in terms of appearances and obviously goal contributions and stuff like that, he's in the top 11, 12, which would be our first team star. And he didn't even get really first team starter minutes like that. So yeah, man, I definitely think he's warranted the obviously price or the contract upgrade. And hopefully we can see more good things from him next season, bro. Big up Darren, man. He says, not a bad thing, Tom. Slot can fix him. Plus, he looked good at Villa. I said, I think Nketiah, Rodrigo, Salah, Verts is unbelievable front line, especially because you got 3 of them in one window. That is crazy. Because again, Rodrigo, Nketiah, and Verts. Obviously, Rodrigo is going to cost 80 million. Nketiah is going to cost 86. Verts is going to obviously cost 116. So that's a lot of expenditure in one window. But this is what you need to do to stay on top. Obviously, you want to win the Premier League again. You want to try and win the Champions League this time. And it allows you to obviously have quality players and be able to rotate them a bit more. Because obviously last season, I feel like the fact that you got knocked out by PSG was based off the fact that you had them obviously in 2 legs and the League Cup final and Premier League games, and you had to win all of them. And you pretty much played the same kind of team because, again, you didn't really trust your backup signings to be obviously pivotal in those kind of crucial games. Now with these kind of signings, man, you can maybe rotate a little bit more with your gap pose and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very, very interesting, man. To see if you get that over the line, man. We'll see. So I just don't see a world where we do business with United for a born and bred Mank coming to Liverpool, but I think he could be a good as a backup. Yeah, I just can't see how you do that as well, bro, to be honest with you. I feel like, again, it'll take a lot for... I think it would take Man United terminating Rashford's contract and him coming on a free rather than them going hand in hand and negotiating with you guys. Because I think, yeah, I just can't see that happening, to be honest with you. It says, I'll take that right, Ethan, because Ethan is a maverick. Yeah, I think, you know what it is with Arteta? I feel like, again, Ethan's one of those players that he won't go to script. He will do things off the cuff. And that's why he scores those kind of banging goals from outside the box. That's not a routine kind of move, bro. That's something that he's put in his arsenal where he's just spontaneous and just has a shot from outside the box thinking he can score. And he does. So yeah, I don't think Arteta does like that in particular. But again, it's something that you can't try and coach out of his game, man. Otherwise, he's going to be very robotic, very static, very predictable. Similar to how Saka's became in the last 6 months as well. You kind of know what he's going to do. The same kind of 1-2, same kind of rhythmic kind of robotic kind of signatures. I think that needs to be spiced up in training this season. And that's what I want to see in pre-season. I want to see a different combination, different variations. I want to see something a bit different, overlapping, underlapping. Maybe Saka taking more of a central position. Maybe him going to the byline a bit more. Like some kind of variation, man. Because I feel like, again, that attacking lineup, not only in terms of personnel, but in terms of how we build up and score our goals, needs revamping, bro. Because I think it's been stale, especially all of last season. Even when we didn't have the injuries, man. In terms of our attacking kind of rhythm, and obviously combination style-wise, it was kind of just the same old, same old. You knew what we were going to do. Saka was going to get the ball. Ben White or Timber was going to overlap. He's then going to try and either do a 1-2 of Odegaard or play a ball over the top to the far stick to either Kai Havertz or Martinelli, or try and shoot. That was kind of the options you had. If you can try and block off him coming onto his left foot, you kind of just nullify him in it. So yeah, I think we need to see definitely some different kind of combination play with our attack for sure. Big up Darren said he shoots from outside the box 100%. Ethan is one of our best attacking talents. Arteta can't improve him. Big up Gunner for life 82. I think, yeah, Arteta definitely needs to just let him off the reins and let him do his thing for sure. Big up Tom Ford said if we get Nketiah, we have money left, so we should move for Gay and maybe Massive Matera as well. That's crazy, man. I feel like I think you definitely get Gay. I think you'll get Gay towards the end of the window. Potentially, you might have to sell Kanate if you didn't sign a new deal. I think you don't really want him going on a free against Real Madrid. I think it just starts to look bad, if I'm being honest, man. You rather just sell him to Real Madrid rather than or sell him to someone else rather than him going on a free again. Because again, that'll be 2 seasons in a row. They've got 2 your back line on a free as well. That's crazy. And they're not even like old players, they're in their 20s. So yeah, that'll be crazy, man. But yeah, I think you'll get Gay towards the end of the window. I think obviously at the minute, Crystal Palace want 45 million, which he's only got a year left. I don't think you can command that. He's not going to sign a new deal. I think they're going to wait towards the end, thinking, oh, you know what, he's going to literally leave on a free if we don't sell him in August or whatever. And then I think you probably end up getting him for like 30 mil, which would be a steal for a player of that quality in terms of centre back wise. So yeah, but yeah, you're definitely doing your business, man, for sure. It says we need those in our team 100%. Arteta wants robots, says Darren, to play his boring sideways, slow sideways and backwards football, chasing set pieces and long throws. Says Darren, man. Big up Tom says also are looking at SA signing. Well, if you can, you can get Harvey Elliott for 50 million if you want. With a laughing emoji, Tom, you're taking the mic, bro. You're taking the mic, Tom. Well, yeah, man, we are looking at SA. I don't know. Oh, I hope we try and advance that. Maybe after obviously we get these kind of deals confirmed. Nani Madueke, Gyokeres, and obviously Mascara should be confirmed this week, hopefully. And then maybe start next week. We might get some obviously talk about Eze maybe progressing, man. Because I'm just hoping we don't have to sell some players to try and get him in. Because for me, he had to be a must as well, especially when you're spending 50 on Madueke. He has to come in regardless of if we sold or not. If you're buying Madueke without any sales, then you should be buying Eze without any sales, in my opinion. Otherwise, you would have missed the boat, man. No thanks, says Tom Ford. A big up Gunner for life 82 says that Ethan has an individual brilliance. Arteta doesn't want to play players like that. Yeah, man. I mean, again, it does like those kind of players that kind of have a kind of robotic, kind of systematic kind of feel to them, and doesn't really want those kind of guys that are very, very spontaneous. I do agree, bro. Big up Varro says, bro, Ethan is young and still has a lot to learn. Why does it have to be Arteta? Hates him. Shake my head. Maybe he's keeping him grounded. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Listen, like I said personally, I think there's a balance. The problem you've got, Varro, is that when you're saying that Ethan is a first team player or he's a backup for one of our first team players, you have to then treat him like a first team player. You can't then use the excuse of he's 17, even though he is. And this is why I will never say that a 17 or 18-year-old is a first teamer, so to speak, when they're still developing. Martin Skelly is a little bit different because, again, he's coming to the side as a first teamer and played a plethora of games and showed physically he can obviously maintain it. With Ethan Nwaneri, he did have a few niggles. He played 3 games in January. Then he picked up a calf injury, I think it was, and was out for a month. So obviously, those kind of run of games in succession was a bit too much for his body at the time. Again, he's going to have to get used to it. But yeah, that's the only issue I have. This is why I will still get Eze. And now you can use Ethan as kind of that kind of maverick option where you're not relying on him to be backup, but he can be used if you need to use him because you're going to get injuries. So I think that's kind of the perfect way for me personally to try and use him. I'm not with this thing of using him as much as possible because you're going to go down the Jack Wilshere route. We've already seen it. Aaron Ramsey was the same, playing 17, 18-year-olds loads of times when they're young. Bro, always hinders them towards the end of the season. Even like a Theo Walcott, he retired at 32, 33, he retired well early, 34, wherever it was. Because again, he was played a decent amount of time at 17, 18. And we weren't able to obviously rest him to an extent because he was our first team right winger or whatever it was. So I definitely think that there's definitely a cause for caution when it comes to these young players. Again, every player is different because you can then look at Cesc Fabregas, who was played from 16-17. And again, he had a few injuries, but he didn't have those kind of niggling ones that Wilshere had. So again, every player is different, but you do have to be cautious about this because that could definitely happen to Ethan for sure. So yeah, I would definitely ease him in. I would definitely still play him, I'm sure, and have him as a part of the team. But I think for me, you've definitely got to be a thing where it is a period of time where he's, maybe struggling physically. You don't have to obviously play him every single game. Or is there a period of time where you can then squeeze him in and you can get a little bit of a run, then you definitely play him, man. So yeah, I think there's definitely two elements of the obviously situation as well, man. Big up Gunnar. Live 82 says he won't learn if he doesn't play him more. Ethan is ready. Arteta insists on playing him on the right wing when he's clearly a 10. Says Darren, I think Eze gets done during our preseason tour, bro. Yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully, fingers crossed he gets done during that tour, man. Fingers crossed. We know he isn't keeping him on the bench. Gay isn't being done, I think, because Palace ain't signed Diamande yet because they're busy with their Europa League case. Very, very true. And I feel like that's probably why we've not gone in for Eze as well, for the simple fact that they're trying to get back into the Europa League after being demoted to the Conference League. I do think that's a bit unfair how they've done that, considering we've seen other teams who have multiple ownership, like Granola and Manchester City, for example, still playing the Champions League together. So, yeah, I do think it's a bit of an unfair case, but we'll see if they get through that. But, yeah, I agree, bro. I feel like, again, and they're even looking at Kivior, man, as well as an option that potentially could play in that kind of centre-back position as well. So, could be an interesting thing, man. Kivior for Eze, Reece Nelson for Eze. Who knows, man? But we'll see. We'll definitely keep an eye on it for sure, man. Arteta won't want his golden boy. Oh, dear. Won't drop his golden boy. Oh, dear. And Pep did the same with Foden. We as fans think it's something negative, bro. Listen, like I said, Barrow, it just depends on the player, man. Certain players can definitely hack it more than others, man. And obviously, I'm wary about that. You don't know for sure if Ethan can do it. Like I said, he's already had a few injury problems in terms of obviously the calf injury he had. And then towards the end, he did look knackered, man. I can't even lie. Like, it wasn't a thing where, again, physically he was raring to go and stuff like that. He did look a little bit tired towards the end, a little bit jaded in terms of physically, which is understandable. This is his first full season playing men's football, playing the amount of games he's played. But again, the problem you have, and this is why, again, I'll say we need to get Eze. When you're seeing him as a backup to Odegaard, you have to use him as a backup to Odegaard. You can't be saying that he's too young, because again, when Odegaard gets injured like he did for 4 or 5 months, who's going to come in? You can't say, well, he's 17, can't come in. Well, you said he's the backup to Odegaard, so you got to use him as a backup. So yeah, that's the kind of issue you got, man, for sure. But yeah, man, don't forget, Fabregas was 17 again. Yeah, that's another case of him obviously coming in 17 and obviously doing his thing. Tops Yamal starts for Barca. To hell with caution, man. But to be fair with Yamal, he was getting a few injuries towards the start of last season as well. Quality player again, and I get it. Listen, every player is different, man. Like I said, depending if you're younger or older, it just depends on how your body reacts to certain kind of pressures of the game in terms of playing week in, week out, 90 minutes. The logistics of traveling to obviously European side and stuff like that. Everyone plays different, man. So yeah, it's one of those ones where you do have to keep an eye on it, because again, you don't want this guy to be out for months and months, because we all thought he was ready to play loads of games, and then it turns out he's not. So yeah, it's one of those ones. I just feel like the best way is to have him, like I said, as an option where you don't have to play him all the time, bro. You can actually ease him in. You can actually play him when you're 3-0 up. You can bring him on as a substitute. There's still elements that you can play him. And I feel like Arteta definitely needs to obviously go into that, considering, again, he doesn't use his bench enough. I don't think he necessarily needs to start all the time, Ethan. But I do think he should be getting significant minutes, even when we're winning the game, even when we're losing the game, even when it's a draw. I feel like, again, you can definitely put him on and say, you know what, here's half an hour, here's 40 minutes, here's 25 minutes at the Emirates, away from home. Let's see what you can do in a certain position. And I don't think he was doing that enough at the start of the season. I can understand a little bit towards the end, but again, those certain periods where we kind of needed his quality when we were losing or drawing games, and he didn't start him. So yeah, it's definitely, there's a fine balance to definitely have for sure. It says big up Darren says that Yamal is the best player at Barca almost every match. Yeah, he's a quality player, man. He's a quality player for sure. We are the same fans that will be killing him, and the manager if he goes bad on the field. Yes, he needs to be used more, I feel, but the narrative that it's because of Arteta doesn't like flair plays is so stupid. Says Vero. What's the price on Eze? I think Eze is 68 million pounds, I think, with a release clause, but I'm not sure if we can try and get that fee down. Again, there was obviously reports saying that potentially we can maybe get it for 60 or a bit lower, but again, people are saying that's towards more the end of the window, and if it's towards the end of the window, it does bring up an opportunity for other teams obviously to swoop in as well. So again, it depends if you really want Eze that much. I would just pay it personally. I think if you're paying 52 for Manuwake 48 fixed, then you've got the money to pay 68 for Eze for sure, in my opinion. But we'll see if we do it. You know he hates Flair. Caught the crap, bro. It says Varro is the truth, says Carlos. Exactly. We saw he was tired and had some knots. Growing slow is good, bro. Listen, like I said, I think you definitely need to manage him for sure. Varro landing the truth, says Carlos. Carlos, where is the trophy? Grow up, Darren. Nothing wrong with saying he definitely needs more time, but to say the manager hates those type of plays is nonsense. And what do you mean, Darren? Says Carlos. I was waiting for Topsy short on the most trophies won in the 21st century. Nah, it's coming, man. It's coming. Later on. It is coming, to be fair. Where is your CWC trophy? Did you guys take it home? Speak your truth, Varro. So yeah, man, obviously, again, big up everyone in the chat, man. Make sure you guys smash up the likes and subscribe to the channel. And I said, yeah, Darren, I think the players are on holiday with it. Fair enough. I don't know if that's true. I seen that you're going to wire... I say you're gonna wire Madawaki's medal through Royal Mail. I seen that on Twitter. I was like, nah, that's gotta be a joke, bro. I said through Very. I seen so something like that. Someone posted a tweet like that, innit? So you can get it back by the time it's in the UK, man. So it's crazy, man. But yeah, big up everyone that tuning into the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. I said big up everyone in the building. Obviously, news about Gyokeres. Gyokeres set for an Arsenal medical on Friday to finalize his £63.5 million move. So yeah, that was a report that was obviously coming out last night. Again, it seems like we've been on the verge for about 2 weeks, man. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Arsenal are on the verge of completing the high-profile signing of Gyokeres, with Sporting forward due to arrive in London on Friday to finalize his move. After weeks in tense negotiations, both clubs have now reached a breakthrough in talks, with Arsenal agreeing to pay €6.3.5 million up front, plus a further 10 million in bonuses tied to achievable targets. The deal looked uncertain at several points, with Sporting president initially standing firm on a £100 million valuation and refusing to enter lower offers. Arsenal's pursuit nearly collapsed earlier in the week, promoting the strike's representative to step in and ease discussions, including reducing their commission demands to help get a deal over the line. Gyokeres, who rejected Sporting's call up for preseason duties, has made it clear he wants to join Arsenal and push for major honours in England. The Swedish international has agreed a 5-year contract with the Gunners and will earn around €6 million after tax. His arrival marks a significant step in Arsenal's bid to strengthen their forward line, with the 26-year-old seen as a key addition to support the club's push for the Premier League title. Arsenal's management were unwilling to meet Sporting's full valuation outright, but eventually conceded to a structure that satisfies all. I can't even say it, man. Satisfies all parties. But yeah, big up everyone tuning in. Obviously in the building. Man said, there are rumors that that Trump has you lot's trophies. Time is right. Game time. Look what he done to him. And Odegaard was playing terrible. Madawaki will most likely get it posted though. No joke. Oh, right. Is it? It's actually legit. That's crazy, man. I just feel like we need some balance. That's why I like this channel. Big up Varro, bro. 100%, man. Big up yourself, man. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, my guy. Nah, Darren, ignore Twitter. LOL, the trophy was on the plane. Just as Ethan has lots to learn, so does Arteta. He made many mistakes too, and he needs to grow up now too. You're on about Arteta as well. Listen, and this is why one of the reasons why, again, he was always going to be learning on the job, Arteta, because this is his first actual job, innit? And there's definitely elements of his game that he needs to improve. And listen, I'm not saying it's all bad. I think, again, defensively, he's set us up fantastically. In terms of, again, I'm never worried about our defense in terms of our structurally and stuff like that. But just in terms of his in-game management and his substitutions, I definitely think that's part of his game, his coaching game. He has to improve on. And being able, and again, it's not easy to break down low blocks, but being able to be a bit more versatile in that kind of attacking kind of area, I think that would definitely help us going forward. But yeah, definitely work to be done across obviously all kind of panels in terms of Arteta and the team as well. To be fair, because again, these players. They're on a lot of money, man, and these guys need to step up themselves as well. So it's not just always on the manager, man. The players definitely have to be held accountable too. So it's definitely a combination thing for sure, bro. Because again, certain players, like Odegaard himself, like again, we all know Odegaard is not as bad as he was last season. That's down to him. Obviously, he had an injury again. Maybe it was a thing where he wasn't fully fit, but at the same time, man, he's going to take some responsibility for his own performances, which I think he did come out and say he's been disappointed with his actual overall performances throughout the season. He said he knows he wasn't good enough. So that's definitely an individual thing. So for me, hopefully Odegaard can get back to obviously his best, which was a couple of seasons ago or the season before last. And then if we can get that kind of Odegaard, then again, it will help the team, of course. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens at the start of the season. It says Sporting have demanded a £10 million in bonuses, euros, but easy to trigger after intense back and forth. The final framework includes a mixture of achievable and slightly more challenging add-ons. Mikel Arteta has been a driving force behind the pursuit, and Gyokeres' arrival could see him feature in Arsenal's upcoming pre-season fixtures if the paperwork and medical are completed in time. It should be, surely, man. I mean, again, we fly out, I think, on Saturday, David Ornstein said, so I can't imagine it's going to be too much more things to do. It's Wednesday now, so again, it gives you, 3 or 4 days for him to travel to London, get his medical done, do all the kind of paperwork and announcement thing, and then you can drop it surely at the end of the week, man. But we'll see. The Gunners have already strengthened across multiple departments this summer, including bringing Kepa, Martin Zubomendi, and Christian Norgard. Moves from Noni Madueke and Christian Mascara are also nearing completion, with the club's sporting director overseeing a frantic but effective window. Gyokeres' imminent arrival gives Arsenal a powerful, versatile attacker capable of leading the line or operating in wide areas if required. The final agreements is that only subject to medical tests and the final signatures, with Arsenal hopeful of making the announcement official before the weekend. So yeah, hopefully that gets done and sorted, man. But yeah, big up everyone that's tuned in, man. Make sure you guys smash up the like button on the video. It says, you mean you only want positive rainbows and honey content? Everything is fine. Trophies are gonna come flooding in is right. It says Darren, free ISAK from the tune to the Mersey, free ISAK, LOL. Big up RSL76. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Which is why we need a new manager. We pay the price for having to learn. Yeah, it's definitely an issue for sure. Big up Darren. He says, I'm just ask brother. me just ask brother. I said Rodrigo Sulan says Carlos, obviously a Chelsea fan there. So yeah, man. Obviously that's pretty much all the news I would assume. Let me see if there's anything more based off the Ethan Nwaneri stuff. And make sure you guys smash up the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member, it's pinned in the chat as well. 99p for more content, all that good stuff. So yeah. But big up everyone that's tuned in, man. Really appreciate it, man. Obviously just a couple of things from David Ornstein that obviously you posted. Leeds strike agreement for Sean Longstaff, the 27-year-old, is going to Leeds for a £12 million move plus £3 million in achievable add-ons. Not bad signing there, to be fair, for Leeds. Someone that's proven and definitely can help them in their obviously promotion, their stay in trying to keep in the Premier League. Obviously just talking about Ethan Nwaneri in contract talks. No game time demands during discussions, and this is why I said, bro, and I said it during the stream, like I don't think he's out there saying I should be playing and stuff like that, bro. So yeah, I think it was more kind of his agent trying to boost up his value, to be honest with you. We had this when he was 15 as well, so yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about if I'm being honest. But yeah, man, I think that might be it. Let me just double check. FC stuff normally has something. Let's have a look. Just gone about obviously Ethan. Also, I've reached an agreement in principle for Ethan Nwaneri over a contract extension. Reports from Fabrizio Romano. And Nwaneri is set to sign, which is expected to be an initial 4-year contract. So he's not a 5-year deal or 6-year deal, only 4 years. So yeah, I'm not thrilled about that. I thought it'd be longer, if I'm being honest, because in about 2 years' time, we're going to be in this exact situation where he's got 2 years left. So not ideal, but we'll see, man. We'll see what happens with that. Obviously, just talking about Mascara, saying all documents have been obviously exchanged in the deal. The player has a medical book for today. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on for today. That's another player from Arsenal going on permanent to Real Sociedad. So yeah, that's something to obviously keep an eye on as well. Just talking about Ethan, it says Ethan was deployed mainly on the right-hand side of Arsenal's attack last season. However, it's expected he will sooncoup a more central role, providing competition and a backup for Martin Odegaard. So yeah, looks like he's going to be in that kind of Odegaard position from next season. So we'll see how well he does there, and if he does get actually game time there, man. So yeah, big up everyone that's tuned in. I said, Tops, read out my full name, blood. Nah, I'm not doing it, fam. I'm not doing it, bro. I said, proper ISAK being fleeced by these Geordies. They think he's a £150 million player, but paying him 120k a week. There are bum squad players at Arsenal on more. LOL. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy. Carlos, you think you can beat Liverpool to Rodrigo? Says Darren. To be honest, RSL wages are getting ridiculous. You never paid, you never even paid Shearer close to that. I know inflation and times have changed, but still, now 100%. I even like Thierry, bro. I think he might have been the first guy that we had on 100 grand. I think I can't even remember. I have to definitely do my research on that. But yeah, man, look at today's market, bro. It's mad. Like, bro, yeah, Arsenal are terrible for it. I can't even defend it, man, if I'm being honest, man. Some of the guys we've got on contract, the Havertz thing, Jesus on 265, Havertz as well on 280, man. It's crazy, bro. So, yeah, not ideal, man. But I can see why ISAK is obviously annoyed looking about, obviously, different type of players at different teams, thinking, raw, these man, look at Man United, for example. Sancho's on what, 250 or whatever it is, fixed fee, flat fee. And look at the difference of quality of player, man. So, yeah, I can understand why he's a bit annoyed how he's not getting the kind of more money. Same with Konate as well. Like, he's looking at Van Dijk, not saying he's as good as Van Dijk, but saying, you know what, the difference in quality of the difference in wages wise is doesn't obviously represent the quality of player wise. We're definitely much closer than you getting Van Dijk potentially getting 350 or whatever it is, and Konate on like 80 or whatever he's on. So yeah, it definitely is more for sure, man. I said that if Chelsea going for him, I believe he chooses us. It's looking like Morgan Rogers, though, Darren, or massive Garnacho, man. There's no way you, man, get Garnacho, surely. I know he fits your quota of getting those kind of young kind of wingers, but, bro, Garnacho for 60 M's is... Listen, we paid 50 for Madueke, so I can't even chat, man. So, yeah, maybe, man, maybe. I said, yeah, but in today's market, ISAK has the right to want more. Top-level striker on 120K is criminal. You know what it is? I feel like, again, it's that kind of thing where, you know, because obviously when they bought him, he wasn't a top-level striker. He only got a plethora, a little bit of goals in obviously Real Sociedad, but he turned into a top quality striker playing in the Premier League, getting 20 goals a season, back-to-back seasons, and I feel like that definitely has had a massive kind of point on it, the fact that he should be getting more money in his wages wise. So yeah, I think that kind of timing and maybe the fact that they've not actually improved his actual wage packet, because I feel like with them, if they're going to improve his wage packet, they're going to want to extend his contract, and I don't think he'll be willing to do that, considering he's probably eyeing up a move at a bigger club. So it's kind of a thing where you kind of have to commit to obviously a longer contract to obviously for them, or not get the obviously required money that you want. I don't think you're going to get a pay increase with him still being on 3 years left. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. And massive Glassars Calafiori earning more than ISAK with a laughing emoji. Zinchenko on similar money as ISAK. LOL criminal, bro. I think Zinchenko's on more, bro. He's on 150. So yeah, that's just awesome. Man. Also, I've just gone mad with the wages, man. I can't even lie. We need to get that down for sure. Yeah. So if you want to keep him, pay him accordingly, but they can't. Yeah, I mean, this is it, man. I don't think they want to either. I don't think, because I feel like they're going to be thinking, well, if we start giving you, for example, 250 grand, which is obviously more than 100 grand more than we are, you're probably going to be leaving in a couple of years' time anyway. So we're just going to be paying you excess amount of money more for a guy that we can just get away with paying 122, because that's what you're currently on now. So yeah, I think financially they're just thinking, well, we don't really want to pay you more for a guy that's not going to commit to us. If you're going to stay, then yeah, we'll give you the kind of big contract that you want. Also, there was reports that he has been rejecting certain kind of approach in terms of, like, again, probably the length of contract they want to sign him up to. Maybe he's not happy with the money they're offering. Maybe he wants more money than the 200 grand potentially they're offering as well. So they're all the kind of elements that you're going to think about in it when it comes to obviously players and stuff like that, and what they actually particularly want, and how much money you're going to get for them as well, man. So yeah, definitely something to think about for sure, man. But big up everyone that's tuned in, man. Make sure you guys smash up the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, man. Really appreciate everyone in the building. But yeah, man, it's been obviously another good stream as well. But yeah, I will have to wait and see what obviously happens with certain players, certain elements, and all that good stuff. I do think potentially we could be on for a good season in terms of in Liverpool's respect, in terms of them getting some quality players in and all of that good stuff. So they imagine that club having access to an endless amount of money and can't spend it. Newcastle laughing emoji, bro. They got the owners at the wrong time, man. I swear, if it was back in 2005, 6, even 7, 8, man, they would have been laughing, bro, because they would have been getting endless amount of obviously players in. You wouldn't have to even sell any players as well. They'll be kind of the new kind of star attraction team in it. But yeah, the fact that they have to obviously work around PSR, the fact that they have to work on how much income they get, depending on how much they can spend, is kind of peak for them. But yeah, it's kind of a crazy one, man. But big up everyone tuning in, man. Obviously, I'm gonna have to head off now, but big up everyone that's tuned into the channel, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you're new. And if you're not done it already, no one's really online now. So yeah, I'll have to come back later, man. Come back later. I'm here at 2 p.m. to probably talk about more transfers or more news that's obviously going to be expanding today, man. Maybe a Madueke announcement is there. So yeah, big up everyone that's tuning in, man. Don't hate to play at the game. And until next time, people, until 2 o'clock, I'm out. Peace and